teams had different focuses. Again, referring to SK versus Gambit, SK tried really, really hard to make sure that Kevin was ahead of Darian one-on-one and could win those duels. And you saw the exact same thing where they were trying to make sure that Ari could not have much of an impact, and they actually got Alex Itch snowballed. So we'll see again what Virtual and what Svenskeren do in this game to get their teams ahead. The bans are coming through. A shocking ban on Sona, of course, is there. Karthus being dropped away, and the Jarvan and Thresh banned out against Copenhagen Wolves.
Yeah, so nothing too surprising right now. We've seen Thresh ban out against Officio a good couple of times, so he must be practicing and playing it a lot in solo queue. Karthus targeted at Freddy, and a number of just very, very specific players here. Karthus and Elise both being removed from Freddy, Zed being taken away from Bjergsen. So it's going to limit some of that split pushing power that you can get from the likes of Zed, which we've seen last weekend in Lille, France. And I want to see how Against All Authority are going to, first of all, protect Nono, because, we've already heard there's going to be some focus. In addition, how they're going to handle these lane swaps. They always move champions around, move players around, and try to pick a composition or pick a lane matchup that most favors them.
And one thing I think is really interesting about the Against All Authority lineup, and you just mentioned lane matchups and swaps and whatnot, is that they basically interchange Freddy and Schleia. Like, he actually said in the interview, it's like, yeah, we each play different champions. Like, I've got a good Diana, his Kayle is not so much. So, we end up just sort of taking the lanes that are good. We both play mid and top. It's not really a big deal. And so they end up kind of moving themselves around based on matchup and not even about their predetermined lanes.
Yeah, and I really like that approach to the game. It's very dynamic, it's very fluid, and it allows you to put what you feel is the strongest foot forward. And for Against All Authority, that's also part of the reason that they haven't been able to find an identity. They haven't been able to find a composition or a setup that really works for them. So, we'll see what they decide to do now. We'll see if they're going to keep doing those splits and those changes and things like that. Kha'Zix was locked in for the Copenhagen Wolves. That's most likely going to be in the hands of Bjergsen. We've been seeing him play those assassin champions over and over and over, and I wouldn't be surprised to seeing him doing it again.
Well, it's interesting because we look at this right now, and of course, Kha'Zix being there right after Zed was banned, but Against All Authority have actually taken both Shen and Volibear. So they've grabbed the Volibear jungle. I would have thought them might have been virtual Shen, but no, it's going to be Freddy, basically blind picking top lane Shen.
So it is going to probably be a matchup that he's going to be quite comfortable with. I imagine we may even see like the swaps. Maybe Shen going to go for the 1v2 or something similar. The options are there for him. Nasus is available for selection if Svenskeren wants to take him in the jungle. It has been those top tier jungles that we've been talking about, and you see J4 being banned out means he's not going to go back to his tried and trusted lane. If Lulu does get locked in, that's sort of been Deficio's fallback champion. He's been playing a lot of Lulu in terms of this matchup, and the wave clear that you've got from that Glitter Lance and from the Piercing Arrow are very, very strong. Varus Lulu, Caitlyn Lulu are sort of the push lane champions.
They're the best at it. Yeah, and actually I asked the Wolves about Varus during lunch because we've seen it so often from the test, and he said, yeah, he's just the best AD carry. Like, I'm surprised more teams aren't running him over and over again. And he says it's mostly just from the ultimate, that the amount of crowd control you get out of that, the impact it has in team fights, you just can't get anywhere else. Of course, you've got the global Ash arrow, but this one hits multiple targets for the root. And he said, yeah, I just want Varus every single time. There's no reason not to pick him up. And we don't see all the teams prioritize it like the test does.
Well, it's really good to hear that because it's been doing very well for him. Now, Alistair being locked in for Against All Authority, we have to touch on this because this was the bottom lane that was run for Against All Authority yesterday against Fnatic. It was the Alistair-Ezreal combination, if I recall correctly. And it didn't work at all that well. They did put them in the mid lane. I read some information from Corellius yesterday saying that the original plan was for the combination of AAA to invade and steal the blue buff of Fnatic and then apply lots of pressure and counter juggling with Alistair. But because they fell behind literally in the first 3 to 4 minutes of the game, they didn't steal the blue buff, they weren't able to put that aggression and that pressure on the map, meant that it didn't work out. So we'll see if they've learned from the mistakes of yesterday and make the cow work.
Well, let's see what happens. They're looking at a couple more champions here. Singed being looked at. And, certainly Against All Authority have a very tanky lineup right now. And not the most damage, to be honest.
No, there's not a lot to back it up. It's literally a matter of if Nono gets jumped on, then the rest of the DPS is going to fall apart. They do still have one more lane to pick, so we'll see what they decide to go for there. Godbro has secured his Singed. You mentioned it a moment ago. It has been locked in. Again, this is 3.04, so the ultimate reducing or making immune to crowd control, reduced crowd control here is gone. All right, so even with Insanity Potion running, Singed has a little weaker than he has been in previous weeks, and Sven Skaren is going to his roots, I actually should say, because Xin Zhao was the jungler that he was playing with and playing very successfully with when Copenhagen will start to pick up some of their first wins.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can, of course, sort of resume that success. You know, they're now 6-3 in their last 9 games. Certainly, the lost SK broke their streak a little bit, but still, of course, a very, very strong team. Against All Authority on a bit of an upturn themselves. And so with the Diana being grabbed here for Against All Authority, again, these guys are fighting for position in the standings. Wolves actually said they'd prefer to play Evil Geniuses in the playoffs over SK, saying that they just know the team a little bit better. So
Wolves have a fairly good track record against Evil Geniuses as well, as it can be said. I mean, these two teams now, Against All Authority, 6-11 in 5th place. Copenhagen Wolves 6-12 in 7th place. So a win or a loss is definitely going to affect those percentages and shuffle this bottom 4 around again. So, you know, it's very, very important to pick up a win here and try to get yourself closer to that sort of break point, that 50% win-loss, because it's a difficult target to reach when you're 6-11 or 6-12.
Oh, absolutely. And these guys want to make sure they stay in the playoffs and have the chance, or at least an extra chance, to play in the next season, or the second half of the season, I should say. We are in the load screen. You're seeing them up on your screen right here. Now you're seeing the Wolves. And again, this game does mean a heck of a lot. We're running down to the last 3.5 weeks of the season. Yeah,
3.5 weeks. This is now the second to last day, or third to last game on week number 7. Next week, we're going to have 12 matches, which is going to be very, very important. And you have to feel that this is now the time to step up. This is the time when you have to really accept responsibility for every single victory and do the best that you can to avoid those relegation positions. We noticed that the last pickup there was on Diana for Freddy, and I want to see if they're going to do a lane swap here, because you know, the fact that Diana is going to be in this game tells me that he's probably going to be going up against Bjergsen's Kha'Zix, and that's going to be a very, very aggressive lane.
Yeah.
Both champions being melee, both champions having ranged farming abilities with fairly good clear times. It's going to be very aggressive from very early on.
This will be really, really interesting overall. These teams are very heavily melee as well, which will be all kinds of fun for the matchup. I remember it was mentioned by Crepo yesterday, actually, that when you had two teams running heavy melee teams, that it was early game advantages that would determine who would win, because all they can do is jump in there and start fighting, and well, whoever's got more gold tends to win those encounters. So the teams are kind of spreading around. You saw Against All Authority run down to the bottom half of the map, ward up the Tri-Brush, and they're going back into the jungle again as the Wolves kind of do a similar thing of warding out the Wraiths. And here they go. Again, an aggressive ward. They ward the Wraiths. Against All Authority want to see a heck of a lot about the Wolves' jungle.
Yeah, Against All Authority stacked up as 5, moved as a solid unit. They had the cow in there as well in case of any form of aggression. They've got some fairly good early vision down, so they'll be fully aware of what the Copenhagen Wolves are doing in their jungle, and you know, trying to keep tabs on Sven Skaren and Xin Zhao, because it is a very, very strong early game ganker. Equal, if not on par with Volibear's ganks. They need to get in range, you know, and lock you down. The benefit that Xin Zhao has is he has a dash. The Audacious Charge, you click on your target once in range and you land it. Volibear needs to run through minions, through a wave, but luckily Virtual has picked up that flash, so we'll see if he does try for any of those flash flippity-floppities as we've been seeing in recent weeks.
So to point out one thing real quick, Nono is actually leeching experience from Virtual in the jungle. You can see he's at about 1/3 of a level right now, while helping out with killing off the Wolves right there. So Bjergsen actually already into a fight with Freddy. Freddy wins that one out a little bit. Bjergsen already forced to run some potions here, but you're just seeing them run through the jungle now. Virtual, he's got his blue buff. He's going to go around the jungle right here. Well, and there's another fight in mid lane.
Freddy, very, very smart with his first level, starting out with that Pale Cascade. Going to give himself a fairly, you know, it's a smallish shield. It's only 60 HP, but that 60 HP shield plus the fact that it deals damage with each of those little explosive balls means he is trading more efficiently than, you know, with Bjergsen. The one benefit that Bjergsen does have is he does have that sustain from his Void Missiles when he eventually, or Void Spikes, when he does actually start, you know, shooting them in range of minions. So if he can keep himself relatively healthy, that could definitely help and pay out. And we have seen some lane swap nonsense.
Yes, so right now, Corelli's getting flipped into the turret, taking a lot of damage there, down to half health already. But it's Singed stuck in a 1 vs 2 where they've got Shen on the other side for Against All Authority. So those are going to be interesting matchups to watch, because both AD carries will be in a pretty good place and get a lot of farm. but Shen and Singe are both going to be a little bit under the weather for most of this game.
Yeah, that's so true now. If anybody's going to know how to play Singe, it will be Godbro. Played 5 times this season, 3 wins with an average KDA of 4.9. But Schleyer, he just missed the taunt. We'll see if Svenskeren wants to jump in here. This is a 3 versus 2. Copenhagen Wolves have the numbers advantage and a minion advantage. Are they brave enough to go under the turret?
No, you're just seeing Virtual really try to defend his teammate right now, knowing that there is an ability for pressure. Bjergsen, though, finds Freddy. A lot of damage available there. Isolated Q deals quite a bit, and Freddy is forced to run away despite the Ignite. But now it's Defiction taking a bunch of damage with a red buff. Kill it? Yes, it will. Schley picks it up with Ignite, and now Virtual is running healing, and it's not going to be enough. The passive will not keep him from going down, and the Wolves will answer back with a kill of their own. The bottom turret just taking damage. That one's not going to be a lot of pressure, but still, 1 for 1 up top.
Yeah, they trade one.
Not going to be a lot of pressure, but still, 1 for 1 up top.
Yeah, they trade 1 for 1. The kill landing onto Shen is so important for that 1v2 lane, the lane that is, trying to be shut down, trying to be denied. You can see the Test and Svenskeren pushing past the turret, killing the creep wave, and that just denies all of that experience and all of that gold from your lane opponent. So Schleyer is being pushed further and further behind. Luckily, though, that first blood is going to help him out a little bit, although he's invested that gold into an elixir of fortitude. So he's literally picked up an item that's going to give him a temporary boost of power, but it doesn't translate into a mid-game victory because, of course, it'll run out eventually.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, though. Of course, Schleier's got to have a nice boost of power there. We'll see if they keep ganking for him. They did a second ago. Virtual is running back to the top-hand side of the map, and it's going to be a 3-on-2 again, though, as Svenskeren is showing up again, trying to keep Schleyer under wraps right here. Slows him down, knocks him into the air as well. Here comes Virtual. They're going to find the Test. He's going to barrier bait that one, though, and Schleyer could be going down here. Deficio picks that one up, and now it's Virtual with his passive still on cooldown, stuck in a 1 versus 2. He will not kill Svenskeren. Now 3-1 for the Copenhagen Wolves.
So well played from Copenhagen Wolves, realizing that pressure was there. Even after drinking the elixir of fortitude, Shen still went down. I have to question Schleyer and Virtual's, play there. They knew that was a 3 versus 2. They knew that they didn't have their summoner spells or the passive of Volley Bear available, but they still went in. And they were hoping the battle would have been closer to the tower, but not having that tower damage landing means the Copenhagen Wolves come out on top. So 3-1 right now. That's additional kills landing on the Test. Once he goes back to spend some of that money, he's definitely going to be very, very happy.
And I want to point out that the top turret is about to go down right here, picked up by the Wolves, but the one on the bottom is still above or about at half health right here. So Godbro has done a very good job of defending his turret. Of course, Svenskeren, with all his pressure in the top lane, got a bunch of damage to the turret himself. But you're seeing a lot of pressure. They're trying to push Godbro down, and he's still got 2 potions, so he is not really being restrained here in this lane. Bjergsen, again, fighting against Freddy, 38-29, actually a lead here for the Wolves as well.
Yeah, so in the mid lane, that CS advantage definitely working out in their favor. And just talking about Godbro in the bottom lane, he's got that CS advantage. He's about to hit level 6. So even though he has potions available, once that Insanity potions there, he's going to be even more secure in this lane. He's just going to be able to pop that ultimate, regen up a bunch of mana and HP. And it's on about a 1.5 minute cooldown, so that's almost always going to be available. We'll see the rest of Copenhagen Wolves moving towards Dragon at 6 minutes. This would be probably the earliest Dragon of the weekend that we have seen, and they have a huge numbers advantage. They took the top lane turret down, they had the duo in the mid lane, and the junglers moved up here as well. So a free, uncontested Dragon for the Copenhagen Wolves, and a very good early game for the Wolves.
Smite comes out there. Blue team does pick up the Dragon kill. You're seeing them go back to their own lanes. And of course, the Wolves are going for a 2-man group at the bottom side now. With that turret gone, they're trying to make sure that bottom turret for themselves stays alive. Bjergsen is just in farm duty right now, and yeah, I just gotta say, everything that's happened here in the early game is great for the Wolves. We're 7 minutes in, and they are up over, or actually about 2,000 gold.
Yeah, just a tiny bit over that, as little as difference at the moment. But Bilgewater Cutlass has already been completed there for the Test as Varus, so he's got that a little bit on-hit slow, some life steal. And it's just a very good position for them. He's going to make up some of that difference in CS because of the amount of time they spent focusing onto Schleyer's Shen and the tower. It did result in a small CS deficit, but that was going to balance itself out and even up very quickly. What do Against All Authority need to do now to pull themselves back into this matchup? It's not so far gone that it's over, but you definitely feel they need to make some sort of focused, concerted effort to get themselves back in this game.
I don't know what lane they want to go for necessarily, because it'll be hard to gank almost any of them. But that said, they've got a team full of crowd control. They've got a Diana who can roam. She has wave clear just like Kha'Zix does. She can go down there, pile in on top of Volibear. They've got Shen, who Nix doesn't have an ulti yet, but again, he's got crowd control in his lane. They've got Alistair's got crowd control in the lane. They could just force a lane down, I think, and move in for some pressure there. Svenskeren waiting for his own blue buff, respawns right then. He's going to grab that one. And basically all you're just seeing right here is that the Wolves are making more moves. They're the aggressive ones, and they're capitalizing on really good pushes.
And they are doing very well in that regard. We'll see if they can continue to do so, because it appears as though they're signaling a little bit of a slowdown in the pace of the matchup. You can see they just want to start farming up the CS and trying to push some of the other lanes. Freddy, 1-2-2, has that blue buff available, realizes that Godbro is quite overextended. Ghost and Insanity Potion is available, so if they go aggressive on him, he's going to be able to pop both of those and try run to safety. And you can see that Svenskeren was already positioning for the potential engage, that if something did break out, we're going to go onto the members of Against All Authority. But nothing comes of that one, and they just ward up the red buff, probably setting themselves up for a steal, and they've got a fairly good team for, just jumping in there as well. Karzik, Sinzhao diving in, Singed throwing there as well, and then if anybody goes low, you just got Wild Growth to bring them right back into it.
Absolutely. We've seen Lulu just do so much in team fights this weekend so far. They're going to go in right now. It's going to be Schley trying to taunt away. Godbro does not want to stop this one, though. The damage out there from Sinzhao is great. The knockup and the ult. Godbro picks up the kill now, 4-1. The Wolves are just relentless here. Yeah,
they're literally camping the top lane. Whichever champion is in the top lane, that's who they go for. That's who they want to fight. They have managed to pick up yet another kill, applying pressure onto that top inner turret. While Nono and Corralius are taking a little bit of poke from this bottom lane. They are still trying their best to take it down, but unfortunately, it's not yielded any results. And something I was thinking about as well was the Hail of Arrows, how it reduces healing. The ability, the E from Varus, it's going to be very effective against the likes of Alistair and Volibear. You can see Corralius was setting up in that bottom, and they've got to...
Oh, the damage on Nono is so incredibly strong. The exhaust, but the barrier is there as well. He runs so far forward that the Lulu comes off. The test is alive. Will he still go down? Schley is looking for it. He's not going to find it. The Lulu keeping him alive, but now Bjergsen's stuck in a 1 versus 2. That's going to be the damage they need. He actually tries to get away the last second, but he's still going to go down. So the answer is back, but 5-2 still the lead for the Wolves.
They're going to need to do more of that for Against All Authority if they want to close this gold gap and close the kill gap. But a successful gank nonetheless. Going to give the kill or the gold over to Volibear, help him out in that jungle just a little bit. He's a tiny bit behind in CS, but as long as he can keep picking up more. Godbro actually thinking about going in for that fight, but he didn't have his ultimate available, so wisely, I think, backs off before taking any damage. And I don't think he could have burst through the shield of Diana anyway.
No, not quite. Ezreal comes by, weakens some of the minions here in this lane, which will shorten the push available here to Godbro, but he's still going to be clearing this turret down below half health, puts the poison on as well, and says, no, I'm going to run away from you real quick. But the minion wave is gone, and it will keep pushing down. So the pressure is pretty relentless from the Wolves here. You're just seeing Volibear have to hold this top lane for now. No one's soaking that up really otherwise. I mean, it's Copenhagen Wolves really dictating the pace.
Now, this is going to be something that we need to keep a close eye on. Godbro's Singed, because he's currently got that Tear of the Goddess as well as Catalyst the Protector. I want to see how he builds and itemizes, because he's the only real source of ability power damage, magic damage for his team right now. You've got physical from Zinzar, Kha'Zix, and Varus. Varus does have that sort of percentage HP in there as well.
Yeah,
but
you have some.
Not a mage. He's not a mage is my point. So you've got a lot more balanced damage from the Diana and the Ezreal. But for them, that's their only damage. So if they can't pick up kills, it's not enough. And can Freddy get away from this?
He's got the shield on. Yeah, that seems to be blocking enough damage. And Freddy's going to last hit the last 2 mage minions there against the turret. Down to about a 3rd health, though. And I want to see where Against All Authority goes to, because Nigabro is still shoving this top lane out. Shen is eventually showing up to defend that just now. Virtual is actually going to find Svenskeren, who's waiting for him in the jungle. The knockup is going to be there, but I don't know if he's going to really kill an angry bear. He's still trying, though. Down to about half health, but no one is around to really protect him. But Virtual still, he's the one who's running away right now. Freddy's nearby, but they won't go for it. Now it's Corralius taking a bunch of damage. He did ult away. The Tess is
so close. Piercing arrow almost there, but luckily the damage reduction for Corralius saved his life. Again, we're seeing that aggression in the bottom lane. They're going toe-to-toe. But I think that's the second engagement of, the AD carry and support that's gone back and forth, which the Tess and Deficio have won.
Yes.
They have been able to turn it around. The previous one was actually a 3 versus 2, where they managed to pick up a kill and survive as well. So for the time being, Copenhagen Wolves bottom lane a little bit stronger in those duels.
And it's interesting to see, because a lane with Alistair is a lane where you want to be aggressive and start fights. And it just seems like they're not really able to do that successfully here. So the Wolves are the one, it's just the story over and over. They're dictating the pace. And against Authority, they've forced a couple of ganks. The one they got in the mid lane, that was really smart. They just shoved Virtual in there with Freddy, and they killed Bjergsen. And those are the kind of moves that, as an AA fan, you want to see happen more and more. The Dragon, though, completely free. Wolves still in control.
Perfect timing on the Dragon. They knew when it was coming up. They had positioning for it. Godbro pulls... Oh, they've caught Corellius!
And he's going to take a bunch of damage. No ult's available. Shen does keep him alive for a little bit longer, but they still take him down. But Schley has shown up. They traded 1-for-1 so far. A turret does go down. AA actually firing back extremely well right now, but the Test is pretty safe right here. Suddenly he's not anymore. Freddy's taking a lot of damage. He will go down, but the Test is trying to run away. Ignite is onto him, and they're splitting their focus. They're trying to go for Schley. Well, they have the damage. Triple. They do, but Nona's going to fire that one back, and now he's 1v1 against Godbro. Puts the barrier on. I don't think he's going to... Oh, he might have enough. The poison time's out, and they trade 4-for-4. Nono lives.
Absolutely every ability was thrown into such a small space that the AoE hit everyone. I think the True Shot Barrage from Nono caught 3 or 4 members of the Copenhagen Wolves. Then you had Diana diving in there by Freddy, catching everybody with the splash damage and every single ability. So the fact that there's so many squishy champions, Kha'Zix and Varus and Lulu, they lost so much HP in that particular engagement, and it was just a matter of the Test trying to clean up. The thing is, though, if those fights happen again, now that the Test is 4-1-3 with the Blade of the Ruined King completed and another pickaxe, he's going to be able to finish it up more. Virtual throws Godbro backwards, but it's just literally annoying him.
Yeah, he didn't do much for it, just kind of buys some time. The triple kill that came out for the Test, though, really gives him a lot of gold. Bjergsen grabs the blue buff for himself. But that's actually a really good fight, I would say, for against Authority. They got killing spree bonuses back. And the game now within 5,000 gold, still a bit far, but of course anything is possible. We saw AA get a comeback win just yesterday against Dragonborns. They're just kind of resetting back into the jungle. Bjergsen's been sent to the top lane to go for a bunch of farm. You can see him wave clear that very successfully. And that is kind of trademark Bjergsen. We see him be given farm so much from the Wolves. They let him take any side lane that's pushed out, and he gets ahead. Godbro is actually the one to clean up the scraps, more or less, and he gets a little bit less farm overall.
To be fair, he's also the playmaker for the team, so they want to give him that gold advantage. They want to give him that item advantage, so he has the position and the ability to make plays happen.
Ooh.
We do see Fred getting caught by the Chain of Corruption.
And they get the silence down there as well. The slow is there. Can they get the damage out? But he's getting lower and lower and lower. The team's still forced to run away. Deficio does land the Glitterlands, but no one follows up onto it. Instead, they're onto Corellius. The slow is there. There comes the leap. Bjergsen gets one. That is the reset. He's going to go over towards Virtual. Jumps across the wall. The damage output, will he have it? He has a slow from the passive and the stealth. Lands it from the W. Lands it from... yeah, and that's just going to be the kill picked up. I forgot the name of all the abilities. The Test slowed him down.
He managed to get the hail of arrows down, but now Nono's been tossed backwards.
He's going to jump right over the wall, though. Godbro will not be able to slow him down. And Nono's going to actually farm out that side wave. Looks like he feels safe, and he's going to walk right back into that one. Godbro taking the long way around.
He doesn't have any lifesteal just yet, and I think he used his arcane shift, so we'll have to see if Godbro can get onto him, because if the fling comes in, he'll be in trouble. Just came back with that blue buff. The cooldown was a little bit lower.
Wow, he had to flash as well, because the Test was on the other side. Can the Test grab this one? Nice missing shot lands, almost dodges the E, but it's not going to be enough. Test gets 432 gold for that one. His wave clears out and gets away.
Well, really well played from the Test. They're having the good positioning. After they took down that inner turret, the Copenhagen Wolves immediately just put some more pressure on this bottom lane. And right now, the Copenhagen Wolves are pushing the top lane. They are pushing the bottom lane. They are picking fights at their pace and at their times, and it's working out. They have a 9,000 gold lead, and it's just a really good position to be in. Against Authority yesterday, they managed to bounce back from a deficit, and they had Shen on their team split pushing as well.
Yeah. But
the question is, can Shen defend with just that Sunfire Cape against the likes of Godbro's Shen, against Bjergsen's Kha'Zix, and possibly the Tess's Varus?
It's going to be difficult for him, though. We'll see what ends up happening. Of course, that Rod of Ages has been completed for Godbro, so you mentioned, hey, we should look at what he goes for as the only magic damage. He is buying ability power, so that's going to be a big threat to the team. Nono being given farm, 126 minions is a good clip for him, and just like yesterday, we see him going for the Infinity Edge, so he's going for a DPS-focused build. We'll see how that pans out for him. But meanwhile, it's against Authority really pushing all the lanes at once, just accelerating their farm. We'll see if they go for an opening. It's going to be Schley taking a bit of damage. Bjergsen still just putting the pressure on. Actually, ults under the turret, really going for more damage. But turrets tend to do pretty well against a Kha'Zix. Bjergsen turns around with low health.
I feel like Bjergsen forgot that the Sunfire Cape was completed, maybe, because he was going very aggressive onto Schleier's Shen. Didn't deal quite as much damage as he was hoping for. And yeah, did burn the ultimate for that one. We see Godbro does get a fling onto Nono. Nono decides not to pick that back low, because that's still a deceptively healthy Godbro. Sitting there was around 900 or 1,000 health in that particular little moment.
Yeah, he had Arcane Shift available and chose not to go for it. So Nono, very rarely, but did this time show restraint in not diving for a kill right there. He tends to be aggressive. He just tends to be. I saw him Arcane Shift for a Wraith kill once, over a wall into a jungler. Yep. Almost got it, didn't quite.
That pretty much sums up Nono's play as well. And you can afford to do that with an Ezreal. You've got that Arcane Shift available. A number of wards in the jungle here for the Copenhagen Wolves, so they're well aware that that blue buff is being started and trying to be picked up. And you can see the team starting to group and get together. 30 seconds on the clock before Dragon comes up, so this is another reason for all of the vision. Can Sven scare and steal it? That's the question. No, it looks like Freddy picked it up.
All right, that's going to be a freebie right there. Blue buff is theirs still. Freddy taking down the Wolves. Not the one he wants to kill all the time, but at least gets a little bit of gold out of those. Schleier in the top lane on the split push forever. Should have his ultimate available. In fact, he does. So he will be able to participate in any fights. But it's the Copenhagen Wolves who are very, very grouped up right now. And they are moving to the Dragon. Of course, it is available in 4 seconds. That's going to be, looks like just theirs for free.
Yeah, again, Against All Authority have not been in a position to defend. They don't have vision. If you look at wards, the only thing that they have warded right now is the bush above their red buff, near Baron, and around their blue buff area because of that previous little engagement. So they have no idea on the Dragon. I doubt they even have timing on that right now. Bjergsen is just moving up to defend this top lane tower. They have a 3 Dragon advantage, a 4 tower advantage, and of course 6 additional kills, which is equating to the 9 and a bit thousand gold lead that you're seeing right now.
And it's certainly been kind of the story of the Wolves just making all the moves. I feel like I've said it like 17 times in this game, but it's just really true. They're the ones who are aggressive. They're the ones who are finding fights. And speaking of that, Godbro goes in onto Nono, takes about 1/3 of his health back, but he's got to run away. That turret plus the Ezreal doing pretty good damage back. The poison trail does hurt Nono's health bar though, and Godbro walks away.
Godbro looking like he's looking like he's going to go towards that Seraph's Embrace type of build. You know, his Tear of the Goddess is stacking up with the poison, currently maxed actually. Yeah. I should point that out already. So doing very, very well with Singed, farming up, and you know, if you can't stop a Singed, I think that's probably one of the most frustrating champions to deal with, because he's in your face the whole time. You oftentimes don't have enough damage to kill him, and he'll just whittle you down over the course of a fight. You literally need to do something to control him, and luckily now when that Insanity Potion is ticking, he is susceptible to crowd control. So we'll see if Against All Authority do pick a fight if they can handle him.
Well, we'll see. Of course, Nono does have pretty good damage up, but the Nashor's Tooth also completed here for Freddy's Diana. So once again, the quote-unquote top laner was taking the mid lane and playing that role. Finds Godbro, slows him down. Nono coming by as well. Ignite is on. Will it be enough? Slow though. Dashes in one more time. The blue buff is there, so he has some more dashing available. Goes in, but the ult Mr. Ezreal flashes in, but doesn't have Moonfall available. Godbro just going to keep walking away. The Ghost, of course, used as well. So summoner for summoner. The ult is good.
If that True Shot Barrage had landed, it couldn't be enough. The Test has gone aggressive onto Virtual Net mid lane. He did use the Chain of Corruption. The spell is not available, but they didn't manage to pick up the kill. Bjergsen once again sniffing around Schleier, trying to see if he can get a kill. Will the Copenhagen Wolves be able to take this tower?
Yeah, they're taking a lot of damage on it, down below half health. They've knocked Sven Skaren into the team, but of course he's a tanky man. A turret actually falls down on the other side of the map. That is Freddy finally finding one for Against All Authority. And now we can see Bjergsen just up in the top. That is a free turret for him. Schleier forced to run away as well because it's a very farmed Kha'Zix, and even tanks can have to be afraid of those sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That Bloodthirster plus the Brutalizer. He's sitting on a fair amount of money as well. 1,600 gold in his back pocket to spend. So we'll see what he decides to pick up, and you can actually see the gold numbers between these two teams. 8,600 gold there on Bjergsen's Kha'Zix to 6,500 of Freddy's Diana. Rest of the lane, some differences as well. And it's you know, overall, it's just a better picture here for the Copenhagen Wolves. Everybody is more farmed, everybody has more gold, and it's literally just a testament to those towers and those dragons.
It absolutely is. They've just been pushing in on Schleier again, though, is Bjergsen. Look, that forcing the flash. Ult's in as well for the slow. He's not going to get much out of this. The knockbacks are there. Bjergsen gets eviscerated. The crowd control available for Against All Authority, quite good.
They managed to find the bug spray. It was powerful enough to take down Kha'Zix. but is it going to be enough to help them out against the rest of the Wolves? Godbro is actually thinking about going toe-to-toe there with Freddy. You can see that momentary hesitation. Should I fight? Should I not fight? He's got those Merc Treads, so it's going to help him out surviving some of that magic damage. And it does look like Freddy actually wants to pick this battle. He was chasing down the lane. Godbro is waiting in the bushes. I want to see if he has enough to win. No, decides to back off. So wise play there from Godbro. No point putting yourself in a brave position.
He's still around. He puts the poison down as he walks through the brush. So Freddy takes some free damage. Says, oh, never mind. Turns around from that one. Now he's safe again. But yeah, these guys are squaring off. And right now this lull, it does play against Authority's favor, though. They are catching up at least a little bit. 8,000 gold means a lot when people only have 20,000 gold. 8,000 gold means less when everyone has 70,000 gold. So we'll see if they can get there.
Yeah, that's so true. The gold difference has been kept the same for the last, let's call it 10 minutes or so, because, you know, Copenhagen Wolves, they accelerated to such a good position in the early game, and now it's staying there, and that, you know, difference diminishes the longer the game goes on. To be fair, we also haven't seen Copenhagen Wolves trying to force big objectives. They've literally just been taking free dragons.
Yeah.
They've just been pushing free towers, and they haven't actually grouped up as 5 once. This entire game, we haven't seen a grouping for fights.
We saw one 5-on-5 where they went 4 for 4 towards the mid game.
That's right. On the blue buff.
Been it.
On
exactly. That's been it. So the Copenhagen Wolves, though, they do have the Oracles here on Deficio, so he is starting to sweep for real this time. That ward goes down. They've blinded against Authority, but Freddy, in pretty good timing, has grabbed the blue buff for himself, so that will be there for the, I'm going to guess, pending Baron fight. Svenskern's waiting around, seeing if someone face checks, has not found anything. The Deficio is still sweeping out wards, and the French crowd goes wild.
Expect to see Copenhagen Wolves backing off relatively soon, probably to... actually, no, I'm lying. They've grouped up for Baron. They have vision of this. You can see Corrales has sniffed something up, does put a ward down. He's going to start yelling. The rest of Against Authority are going to start reacting, and Stand Unite is available, but Baron is going so low, they might not be here in time.
Corrales flashes in to start the battle because he wants to find Bjergsen. The slow is there. Oh my gosh, the damage. He falls before Shen can. Oh, it's a 4-on-4 as Singed on the right-hand side. They're going to move on in. Virtual falls down. Double killer for Svenskeren. Sorry, for Bjergsen. Svenskeren forced away. He does go down. Nono a bit overextended across the wall he is now, and the damage output is here on a Freddy. He's going to go back on him, but has nowhere to go. Sheeped down. Nice pickup there by Deficio. Nono still running away, 3 for 1 in that fight, and Singe is now up into their base. Nono in a duel against Bjergsen does not have the damage whatsoever. Bjergsen does, and now Godbro is killing away a turret.
That ended up being a 4 versus 4 because the Stand United could not get fully channeled. The target was killed before Shen could actually make it into that battle, so he was stuck in the top lane for a very, very long time. The entire duration of that battle, Godbro was split pushing down on the bottom lane, managed to get all the way up to the inhibitor turret, and the Copenhagen Wolves are literally just deciding when and where Against All Authority die. They baited that engagement. They thought about Baron, they're like, we can maybe get it, but decided to just peel off, pick up all of the kills, and take a couple turrets as well. So very, very well played. All of a sudden, that 8k gold is now 12k gold, and they're even firmer in the lead.
And what I'm surprised about by that as well is they sent Godbro to push the right-hand side of the map without teleport, without any way of participating in the fight, and said, yeah, we know it could be a 4-on-5, screw it, we'll go for it anyway, thinking that they could run away pretty easily if they had to. Corrales actually did not use the Alistar ultimate. I don't know if it was still on cooldown at the start of that fight, but he certainly didn't burn it. Krepo says no, so he just did not ult when the Shen shield was on him, and that really prevented Schleya from being able to show up in that battle. And you saw just the rewards that the Wolves reaped from that fight, and now we're going to see where they go next.
It was a panicky initiation from Against All Authority because they got caught out and they went, well, they're doing Baron, okay, we'll get there. And then all of a sudden went, wow, they're going to take Baron. They're going to take Baron, and got there so late. They weren't able to get in. Bjergsen has been caught up by Nono, and he's landing some good auto attack damage with that Zeal and Infinity Edge. But Bjergsen, he's managed to back away just a little bit. He's got those evolved wings, so if he does go in aggressive, he might be able to reset and get out.
But I want to point out, though, is that it's Infinity Edge Zeal versus Infinity Edge Blade of the Ruin King. So the test is absolutely massive as far as AD carries go at this stage of the game. And you're going to see how trolly Godbro is allowed to be, pushing in on a Schleya. He's going to do even more damage to the poison, waiting to fling the right way. Nice taunt gets him across the puddle, though, and Godbro is forced to run. He's afraid of Nono here, and for pretty good reason. Actually, he's not. He just goes for the damage underneath the turret, pops the Seraph's Embrace, still going for pressure here. I think Nono might win this fight. He's actually going to let them both run away. Godbro, a massive troll right here. Call him Trundle, because dang. But now they've found the test. A lot of damage onto him. He's forced to run away. They've knocked up Svenskeren. It's Freddy taking a bunch of pain. So is Corralius. But here comes Bjergsen. Will he find a kill? He's looking for Freddy. Freddy's got the shield on. Oh my gosh. Just destroys him. And now he will look to find Virtual. Pops the stealth. Bursts him out. double kill here for Kazakhs.
Yeah, Bjergsen is just so fed right now. Black Cleaver lost Whisper and that Bloodthirster. 8-3-3. The mid lane inhibitor turret's down. The bottom lane inhibitor turret's down. They're going to get the mid in here, probably roll around to the bottom in hit. 25 seconds on the clock for Volibear and for Diana. They may decide to just go for the final push. They have enough damage to do so, that's for sure. The question is, are they going to stick around? We'll see what the decision is, and they're going for it.
They are going for the Nexus right now. This could be the game-winning push. Only 3 members alive for AAA. 1 turret is down. They're going for the second one right now. Ezreal comes across. They're going to re-engage. They find Svenskeren. The knock-up on everybody. Godbro could be going down. He will fall first, but they're going to answer back onto Shen. Now it's a 4-on-3. Freddy's back as well. The home guard is on. Virtual's going to try to find Svenskeren. Does not land the flip. His Q timed out before he can flip him over his back, but Freddy's going to look for a fight. QR, he's going to find the test. Barrier is on Lulu's shield as well. Svenskeren's going to go down. Now can they re-engage? 3 alive for the Wolves. What are they going to find? Nono is in the mix. Tess might go down. Still taking damage, but it's Bjergsen on the backhand side. He's going to find Freddy, but now he is alone against the team, but he finds Corellius. He steps back around and jumps away. Nono's been exhausted. Who's going to win the fight? It's so close. Nono wins the fight. Can it be Deficio for the answer back? The lifesteal is there. Deficio gets the kill. He's now on the Virtual. Virtual's got the red buff. He's being slowed down by Lulu. It's so close. Deficio. Deficio gets it. Double kill for Lulu. He gets out of the base alive.
4 for 5 at the end of that engagement. It was crazy. Everybody jumped in there, but the plays from Bjergsen. He flashed over the mystic shot of Nono, stayed alive for another 2 seconds, got another taste of fear and auto attack off. I cannot get over the micromanagement there that Copenhagen Wolves managed to pull off, and the bravery of Bjergsen to jump back over the wall, pick up the kill onto Freddy and stick around. That's allowed all of the super minions to get into the base of Against All Authority. So yes, at the end of it, they traded all those kills. But what it means is Against All Authority can do nothing with it. They do not have the time to leave their base because there's super minions there and they only have 1 Nexus turret available. They are going to be counter-pushing these waves for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
And that's going to be so difficult for them. Nono's in the top half of the map. That's going to be more or less free farm for him. So at least he'll be an even scarier AD carry. Godbro dueling up against Freddy 1-2-2. And it looks like Singe is having a pretty good time with this one. Freddy's going to find the new shield here and try to run away. Will Godbro have the fling? Yes, he does. And Freddy, he's going to have to zone his Hourglass out. He's got a teammate coming in pretty soon. Will he have enough? Dashes to a minion to try to buy more time. The slow field is not going to land. He's got the Shen ult as well. Will they have enough damage for Godbro? It's going to time out eventually. He's actually running away. The Randuin slow there on Godbro, and he is still relentlessly chasing. There's the Q from Freddy. He cannot jump to him because Poison Drill will make him die. Jumps to a super minion, shields it away, and Schleia has been caught. They've surrounded him as well. He's going to go down. That is a dead Shen. Freddy still running. Bjergsen won't quite find it. His ult is popped for more movement speed. Freddy's going to miss that one. He's almost in range. What will he land right here, Freddy? Yeah, there's the W. That is a kill picked up. 2 for nothing, and now they go into the base. It's Virtual getting knocked into the air. I don't know if his pass is going to be up, but it's just a lot of damage available to these guys. It's going to be popped right here. Knocked into the air. No, it's not going to be. It's Svenskeren actually who's knocked around. Corellia saving his teammate, the slow going off onto Noda, but they're now onto the Nexus turrets. Of course, Bjergsen not even part of this fight, just 4 men strong. Ghost comes in for Godbro. This could be the game-winning push. They find Corellius. He's going to knock back Papa's ult as well. It's actually a lot of damage onto this poor Singe right here, getting pushed around. Noda does not get the kill. The Seraph's Embrace keeps him alive, but they have now surrounded the Nexus. This is going to be this going down. The Copenhagen Wolves. Oh, Nono gets it, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. The test actually takes fountain damage. Nono's still trying. They actually could possibly win this fight. Nono finds a double kill, but now he's going to jump down. Bjergsen's going to possibly mop this one up. Nono has gone down. They're now onto Schleia. The damage onto the Shen is strong. They find that one. Now onto Virtual, but Freddy is here as well. The Nexus still down to 1/4 health. Svenskeren might be going down, but Freddy was going to go down first. Triple kill for Bjergsen. That's going to be it. Copenhagen Wolves win the game.
What an exciting finish to that matchup. KDA, too important there for Copenhagen Wolves, chasing Diana the whole way down the bottom of the map. But nevertheless, a very dramatic win, and it was convincing from the get-go. They took an early lead, and they just snowballed that to a stronger position before eventually closing out the game.
And that was just a very, very fun game to watch. The last 5 minutes was a breathlessly exciting match to watch. Just so many amazing battles back and forth. Kind of by early mid-game, you saw the Wolves say, hey, look, we're both all in and we've pulled the advantage, and they kept that the whole way through. And they just sort of surgically played that mid-game out, finally found the fights they wanted and closed the game.
Yeah, very, very well played overall. And it was just complete objective and map control. That's really what it boils down to. They picked some ganks off. Once they got the ganks and they got the map presence, they did not let it go. Well played.